This is f***ing insane, I'm not gonna lie. There is this special energy about Saigon that you just gotta love. Risking my life by getting on a bike with someone I've never met before and just trust that he's gonna drive me to where I'm going. I was on the bike and I got a little bit bored and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna grab my camera, I'm gonna grab my microphone. I set this up on the back of the Grab, which is pretty cool. I was very careful, I was very worried I was gonna drop either my phone or a microphone. And when Adri sees or hears this episode, she's gonna be pretty furious that I did that with all this equipment. But I managed it. To be honest, half of it I did when we stopped at a light. When you stop at a light in Saigon, it's often a long light. And I thought I'd take this opportunity to record an extra special episode of the Saigon Sunday sessions. This is the first episode I've done all by myself. All the Saigon Sunday sessions with a group of people. I thought I'm on a bike, so to go from where I live and then through all the way to District 7, it takes about 30 minutes. This is going to be a long drive. And I was like, fuck it. Let's do a recording. I'm not 100% sure why my driver has taken me this way. If you know Saigon, we were about to go through the tunnel, which would have taken us into District 1 and then District 4, but instead now we are on Ton Duc Tang, one of the busiest streets in Saigon at this time of night. Well, let's just enjoy the ride. So right now we're going by the Meridian Hotel, VP Bank, the Nexus, which is one of the newest buildings. You can see behind me the on-ramp to the new Bison Bridge. We talked about it a lot, and if you're listening and you're an expat or you're Vietnamese and you live here, you may understand what I'm saying. If you're thinking of coming here or you've been here for a visit, you probably also know what I'm saying. Say hello to these guys. There is such an energy about this city, and this is part of it. I don't think there's any other cities in the world, not that I know of, that have this energy right now. Saturday night, 7 o'clock. People are out all over the place. I should be wearing my pollution mask and I forgot to put it on. Well, don't tell Adri, but she's going to find out when she listens to it. Then we got on the other side of the river, which was a swamp. We got here, there was nothing there. Now we have massive high-rises. We have this huge advertising billboard, which is really cool. It's see-through during the day, so you can't see it. And then at night, you can see it very clearly. What you doing? Hanging out. As I said, I should have my mask on right now, and these people are just having an egg coffee, chilling out right by this massive highway. I would say this is arguably the dead centre of Saigon, the Chung Hung Dao roundabout, which has recently been done up. It's really nice now. This is fucking insane, I'm not gonna lie. We're about to I could never imagine doing this back home at all. But it is this special energy about Saigon that you just gotta love and you gotta give into it. You know, this helmet I'm wearing is probably not good for anything. I get worried when I put it on. I think, if I fall off this bike, there's a good chance that this helmet's just going to split in two. Risking my life by getting on a bike with someone I've never met before, get on the back of his bike and just trust that he's going to drive me to where I'm going. But it just worked somehow. I don't understand why. But I thought I might as well film this while I go through Saigon, give you a bit of a tiki tour of what Saigon is like, whether you've been here or whether you've lived here or whether you're thinking of coming here. One of the things I would recommend is if you are visiting, get on the back of a bike. It is one of the coolest things to do. So I've talked about it before. It took me 3 months after we got here to actually finally get on a bike, even though I've been on bikes before. Because of this. That's fucking mental. But it just worked somehow. So when we got here, I was like, there's no way I'm getting on a bike. And then eventually, I was like, I've got to get on a bike. It's the only way to get about. It's easier, it's quicker. And you know, it's comfortable enough that I'm sitting on the back of a stranger's bike right now, filming myself talking. There's someone just walking across the street right there with a kid on his back, walking across a 3-lane, 3 lanes on each side. Just walks across. This is something that you can't do in many other places. We're about to pass the building. I've never had a hatred for a building, but I hate this building. So when we first got here, we walked by that building. Literally our first week month, I can remember. And me and you were like, oh, what's happening with this building? They must be finishing it soon. I fucking love this city. 2 people just driving behind me. What's your name? Driving right up behind me so they can be on camera. So we just crossed over the river. We're into District 4 now, where we used to live. There's a footlong, which is one of the best names for a restaurant. Footlong, if you're from the UK or the West, you probably go like footlong, but it's footlong. But that building I was just talking about, when we moved here, classic karaoke going on. When we first moved here, we walked by it and we're like, oh, that building must be getting finished. And we were looking at it and AJ saw like the lift moving. We're like, oh yeah, the lift's moving. They must be doing some work on it. That was 8 years ago, 8.5 years ago. Still nothing's changed, nothing's happening. It must be one of the biggest prime real estate spots in all of Saigon, maybe all of Southeast Asia. It's the bottom of Han Ye, corner of Thon Nok Tang. It couldn't be more central, couldn't be more amazing. They've already, it looks like it's finished to the top. I actually don't know the full reason, but they stopped building it and it's never been restarted. And it's just, please knock it down. It's an eyesore from all over the city. No matter where you are, you see it. They've tarted it up. As you saw the Vietnam flag on it there, or if you're listening to this, you wouldn't have seen it, but they've put all lights on one side of it, which has the Vietnam flag, so it looks good and it makes you think that something's happening, but nothing's happening. They're not doing anything. I've heard people say that because it's been so battered by the weather over the years and it's like compromised, so it can't actually be built on. This is my old street here, my old building there. So you go through the heart of D4. You gotta love D4. It's a special place. It's so different to the rest of Saigon. As we barrel through, you can see here. So, yeah, apparently it's never going to be finished. I mean, I don't understand economics. I don't understand the economics of construction. How can you nearly finish a building in probably expensive real estate in Saigon and just leave it unfinished? I don't understand why someone in the authorities doesn't come in and say, right, whoever started this building, you're going to pay to knock it down, demolish it so we can sell the land, we can start again. It's absolutely mental. But right now we're skirting along the edge of D4. We won't go through it completely. Just see how crazy this is. And I know, and we've talked about it extensively on this podcast as well, about how friendly Vietnamese people are, how lovely they are. And I think that was an example there. You saw people on a bike, they just suddenly saw that I had a camera and they stopped to wave, to talk to you. There's never a threat of violence. You know, I feel like where I'm from, Scotland, we were back in Scotland last July. And so if anyone's like, you're being over the top, there is a threat of violence in Scotland, I think, all the time. So we were there, we being Adrian and we went into this bar in the city centre of Glasgow, this really nice, not like fancy, but a nice, just local Scottish bar. We went to see Scotland against Georgia. We won 3-0, I think. So it's not Rangers Celtic, not Hibs Hearts, not Rangers Hearts, not Rangers Hibs. Everyone's cheering on the same team. We're all cheering on Scotland, right? And then the bar closed, which was pretty early, I thought. The bar closed at 10 o'clock. I didn't realise the bars in Scotland closed that early. They called last orders. And then obviously somebody wanted to keep drinking, as we all do. And they reached over the bar, tried to pour themselves a drink, which obviously is a big no-no in most countries. Scotland, where the rules are super strict, and it's going to be the bar and the bar staff that get penalised. They obviously get quite angry and they tell the guy to stop it. But the guy being a drunk Scottish guy, drunk Glaswegian, takes umbrage at that. Just to keep you up to date with where we are, we're just about to cross over another bridge, leaving District 4 to head into D7, getting quite close to where we're going. So I finished my story. But so the guy got really angry and it turned into a bit of a shout match, a pushing match. He was pushing a woman, someone else jumped in. It was nothing like, super violent but aggressive. And me and Adrian just like, what is going on? Just trying to have a good night out. What's Scotland playing? Winning 3-0. And the guy eventually leaves the bar, and as he's leaving the bar, he's walking out, and he throws in all of his coins and all of his money into the bar, and he's like, here's your change. And these coins, I don't know what they were, but these coins bounce all over the place. It's quite an aggressive act. And then even just last week, I saw a reel on Instagram of a fight outside a pub between two women at that same bar as well. So you go to somewhere like Glasgow, there's definitely a threat of violence in the air. I never got in a fight when I lived there, but I had a friend who got beaten up just for looking at the wrong person at the wrong time. And my point is, here in Saigon, I've never felt that threat of violence. If you go looking for violence, you're going to get it. If you go looking for a fight, you're going to get it up close. In Glasgow, I feel sometimes you don't go looking for a fight, and you might still end up getting it. Here the people are lovely, they're so friendly, and I think that was a good example there. The people go by and just talking to you and saying hello on the bike. So yeah, the longer I live here, the more and more I enjoy it. If I've had my ups and downs, as we see people honking and a massive bus going by. Well, nearly here, I've survived, I haven't come off. I'm looking selling lottery tickets. There's so much about this country I don't understand. But as an expat, I love it. Can't complain. And yeah, sorry, as I said, I've had my ups and downs, especially in the beginning when it was tough. But living here now, it's definitely an exciting time. It's an exciting time to be in Vietnam, even if you weren't here during this economic boom, and we are going through an economic boom. There's just something special about this country that makes you want to live here and makes you love living here so much. It's not just because it's cheap, to be honest. I know everyone thinks Vietnam is cheap. I mean, that helps, but it's not something I think about day to day. It's not something I ever really think about. And maybe because it is cheap, I don't think about it, I don't know. If I was back in New Zealand, I would be making probably 4 times the money that I make now. So even though it's 4 times cheaper here, I'd be making 4 times the money. And I think that's easy to forget. And there are some people that live here in Vietnam that are making Western salaries. They're making the same money back home while living in Vietnam. I think that's not everyone, and those people are very lucky. And they generally know they're very lucky. We were at a fundraising event last week to raise money for Blue Dragon and Hurricane Yagi, and the woman, she got up on microphone, amazing Aussie woman who was just like, she was like, we all have a good life here, we need to get more money. I think that night ended up raising $56 million from a small group of expats. So people do their stuff. Yeah, don't worry. So we're here now. Thank you very much. Come on. There you go. Cheers. All right. Hopefully Adri's here already. She should be. She left before me. So we're going to go meet Paul and Krista. Didn't take that long. It took 16 minutes from Bison Bridge to get to D7. It's just a special monologue episode of the Saigon Sunday session. So I hope you enjoyed that. Have a good night. Cheers.